just a way of cutting his weight now.
Yeah, and how obviously how is that going at the moment, Steve? He's right in the heart of his weight cut. Everything going good there?
His weight was perfect when we got here. I think he had about 5 or 6 pounds to cut, so it'll come off pretty fast. He's been manipulating his salt and stuff like that, so it'll come out pretty quick. I expect he'll be on weight the next kind of 5 to 10 minutes, and then it's just a case of him going to sleep, getting up in the morning and going to the weigh-in.
And just for maybe those that aren't familiar with it, once he's obviously finished doing his weight cut tonight, before he goes to sleep, will he lose any weight as well when he's sleeping?
He tends to float about a pound and a half. He'll come back to the room and he's going to eat an apple and have a tablespoonful of almond butter. And it makes it easier for him to sleep. But he should wake up bang on weight. He usually floats about a pound and a half. Mm-hmm. So should be cool.
And through pictures I've seen online, obviously Stevie's looking in fantastic shape at the moment. Has that reflected in his weight cut? So I mean, how's this one been versus weight cuts in the past?
He always makes it pretty easy, to be honest. He's not massive for the weight. He's not like a massive lightweight. He's super strict with his diet when he needs to be. So he's been light the whole time through here. Just we're working on some things with this fight where it's going to benefit him being a wee bit lighter, mostly get a bit of speed advantage. Yeah. But he's been easy to work with in this camp. He's been super dedicated. You can tell by the shape he's been in. He had a couple grappling competitions in the build up for this as well, which we put in as markers to keep his weight low and just to get him competing. So it meant that he had to be under 80 kilos like 3 weeks out and stuff like that. But he's done it so many times now. It's a walk in the park for him, really.
Is it a motivating factor with regards to the opponent he's going in there against, Leonardo Santos? Obviously, we know he's been out a while, but he was on a year back when I think it was 2016, his last fight, on a 6-fight streak in the UFC. So is that motivated Stevie as well, getting in there against a guy of that calibre?
I think he's motivated because he knows that guy. He's a very good fighter, obviously for one of the best gyms in the world. I think obviously some of the casual fans might not know who the guy is, especially with his inactivity and stuff, but like everybody who keeps an eye on that division's aware of who the guy is. So I think it's an opponent who he might be slightly different for a couple of his previous opponents who have been fairly boring. I think this guy might actually come in and make Stevie fight a wee bit, which is good.
So match-up wise for you as a coach, was this a fight you were excited about for Stevie?
Initially, I wasn't that fussed about it. It's not a relevant name, to be honest, because of the inactivity and stuff. But he's a very good fighter. He's obviously got some good wins in his record. The Kevin Lee one's going to always stand out, due to the nature of it. And then the Martins fight, which was his last fight, we were at that show, and then the Tony Martin one as well. So he's a good fighter. It's another good test for Stevie. It's a step in the right direction and stuff.
It's something we ask fighters a lot about is when somebody's been out injured for a while, but for a coach's point of view, preparing and game planning for a guy like Leandro who's been out for a while, does it make it difficult because there could be an element of the unknown because it's been that long since he's fought?
I would imagine there would be, you can only work with the evidence you've got, really. So when you go back and watch his last fight, he's not going to be that fighter. The guy's been in the gym, I'd imagine, pretty consistently.
Yeah.
He's going to bring new stuff to the table that we've not seen. So that's something you can fall into the trap of just watching footage of him and thinking you're getting that version of the guy. But we've been pretty smart thinking he's maybe added this, and then try to look at it for the perspective of if I was his coach, what would I have him doing to add to his game, and try to bring that into factor with what we're doing, preparing for it.
Yeah.
But the 3 years, it's almost 3 years. It could be a completely different version of the guy who gets in 3 years. So we're not banking too much on what he's done previous, other than his credentials in jiu-jitsu. He's always going to be he's always going to be a jiu-jitsu fighter. He's probably the most decorated jiu-jitsu guy in the division. I think he's multiple times world champion at black belt. He's been a black belt for 20 years, the guy.
So do you see him looking to? He's just only going to be looking to mainly take Stevie down and obviously try and use his jiu-jitsu.
I think there's a couple of ways it'll play out. I think that if he's smart, he's been working his wrestling in the time off, because his wrestling wasn't great before. He was winning fights a long style kickboxing game before. He's tall and lanky at the weight. He's also in one of the best gyms in the world in terms of the strikers that come out of that gym. Are always pretty good. Aldo, Barao, Hakron Diaz is here with him, who's another good striker at featherweight. So I anticipate him punching and kicking to an extent, but at some point, if he's wanting to get a finish, I'd imagine he's going to have to try and take the fight to the ground. So if I was him, I would have been spending the time off working wrestling. Whether he does or not, it'll be a different thing. I also think he's going to struggle with Stevie's got a low centre of gravity. His hips are pretty low to the ground. He's all upper body. With this guy fights quite tall and upright, getting under Stevie's hips is going to be a problem for him, which will make it. He's probably going to be more inclined to try and punch and kick and move away and reset and keep a distance, which he's done in the past with his previous couple of opponents.
Yeah, and this fight as well, Jake, this is, if Stevie gets the victory here, do you feel that then gives Stevie that opportunity to start looking at fighting guys in the top 10, top 15, top 10?
I think if this one doesn't, then he'll maybe need one more. That division's absolutely stacked. It's even if you go up to like the top 40 and stuff in that division, there's not an easy fight there. It's just name after name after name. I think he'd like to get back to fighting the recognised guys like Lozon and Pearson, who he's had in the past. I think more importantly for us it's going to be the style of guys that he gets to bring the best out in him, because he's been a bit unfortunate with his last couple of opponents that they're either stylistically it's made for poor fights, or he's been in a position once or twice where he's had to go into the fight probably thinking I need to win more than thinking I can take a risk here and chase the win, which is unfortunate. It's just the nature of the promotion, I guess, where if you're fighting for a living, you don't really want to be getting cut. But I think if he gets past this guy, the people in the know about the level of fighter that Leo Santos is. He's a very, very good fighter. So the top 20 is definitely is there again. He was at that position before where he had Felder. So I think it'd put him right back on the kind of brink of that. And then he can see what he gets for there.
It's lightweight's one of those divisions, especially. It just seems stacked in the UFC. I mean, I think it's probably arguably the most stacked division in the UFC, and it has been for quite a while. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I think pretty much. I think once they started signing more and more guys, it's the most talent-rich division. I think either side of that, featherweight and welterweight, are always pretty strong as well. But I think it's mostly just the average size of the athletic men is going to be in that division. Generally, you find any of the bigger guys go and play other sports, whether it's basketball in the States or American football or whatever. Whereas athletic guys at that size are kind of average height, average weight for most guys. They'll fit in that category. But it's definitely the strongest division. I think most of those other divisions you've got standouts with the champion, and maybe the top 3 to 5 could be pretty strong. Bantamweight's a super good division and stuff like that. But then featherweight's like the top 10, 15 are all excellent, but then it kind of fades away. But again, lightweight, if you look at the guys not in the top 15 to 20 rankings and stuff, there's some absolute monsters there.
Yeah, and I think it speaks volumes to Stevie as well. So this will be his 10th fight in the UFC, so the most of any Scottish fighter. Do you think in the 9 fights previous, do you think we've seen the best version of Stevie Ray in the octagon?
Not yet. I think you've seen flashes of it in the first couple fights. Obviously, he was getting stoppages and stuff like that. And then bits and pieces. Some of the fights I've spoken about it before. He's had to almost fight against type against an opponent just to get the victory, or to give himself a better chance of getting the victory. I think if there wasn't the constrictions of Stevie worrying about his next contract or where his next paycheck's going to come from, he would probably fight differently, which I would prefer sometimes. But he's still young and he's still improving. I think he's needing the right opponents to bring the best out of him, and he can show people what he's capable of. You've seen flashes in the Joe Lozon fight where he got a doing for the first round, and then it's flipped something in him where he's like, right, I need to go, and he's fought with a different mentality. But I think he's still got a lot to show. He's still got a lot of gears to go through. It's going to take the right opponent and the right circumstances where he's no worried about, will I get re-signed or will I get another fight type of thing.
Yeah, and it seems to be a bit unpredictable. But it used to be with the UFC, it was basically 3 fights, 3 losses in a row, and you'd get cut. But we're seeing guys now fighting longer, maybe losing 4 or 5 in a row, and some guys like Elias Theodora who just get cut. And I mean, his record was pretty good in the UFC, although maybe not the most exciting guy. So I guess there's that unpredictability there as well for the promotion.
Yeah, I think it's always been like that. I think you've got that kid Tamers on this weekend, and he's lost his first 3 fights. And the boy that Danny beat in Glasgow, but he obviously could fight in the night with Danny in Glasgow. Then he had quite an exciting fight with Fishgold there. I think there's something in the contract where they can cut you on 1 loss, or if you lose a fight, they can cut you straight off a loss, which might have been the thing with that Elias. His style wasn't the best either. I don't know if he was maybe on good money for the fights he was getting, or if he was at a point where he was maybe negotiating a contract and he hadn't been offered what he'd asked for or something like that. There's maybe more going on there than meets the eye, but it's a cutthroat business with him. It's not a company I would like to work with. As much as the top promoter in the world and stuff like that, I feel sorry for most of the guys who work for them.
It's sort of a bit of a meat grinder almost. Again, I think that again looks. I mean, the amount of fights Stevie's had in there, just not even getting to the top of the UFC. I think just managing to stay in the UFC for as long as Stevie has is. I don't think people out with the sport appreciate how difficult that actually is. Especially in that division.
I think he's done well at getting to 10 fights is a lot of fights there. There's guys, I'm not even sure if Brad Pickett had 10 fights in the UFC, and I need to check.
I think you know what I mean? Include his WAC, so Wonders if I probably did, but not in the UFC, I believe.
Yeah. It is an achievement in itself, but he wants to get past that. It's not an achievement he would talk about too much.
Yeah, and just obviously, while we've got you on, I want you to talk a wee bit about Luke Shanks, who's moved to higher level. He's uprooted his full life effectively and moved up to Scotland. He just picked up a victory, unanimous decision. So just tell us a wee bit about what that process was like for Luke, moving to Scotland, settling into the gym, and then getting that first win under the gym.
Basically, I got an email with the blue from the kid. I'd seen the kid fight on ACB. I think I saw him maybe fighting Cage Warriors, but he basically says, I'm looking to come up to the gym. I think he competed in a grappling competition against Cameron Donnelly, one of our purple belts. And I think it was a competition that Luke had won the year before. It was like advanced no-gi. I think it might have been Naga or something. And he'd won it. And then the next year, Cameron had beat him. So I think it left a bit of an impression on him. In messages asking about coming up, like on the Wednesday, the kid rocked up on the Monday. He stayed in the gym for the week. Trained every day, worked some pads with him and whatever else, and it turned out he'd spent a week at Calbon. I think he'd been in Wales for a bit. He'd been at London Shoot and he'd been at Tiger. So his process was he was going to look at different gyms, pick one, and then move to that gym full time and commit. So lucky for us or whatever, we must have made a good impression with him. He's ended up, when he left on the Friday, he was like, right, I've sorted I think in between training sessions, he was really looking at flats and stuff.
Yeah.
He'd sorted a place to live. His girlfriend got her job moved up, and the kid moved up like 5 days later. He's like a 23-year-old boy, like man, but it's still a big upheaval for him. So he's been up ever since. We kind of let him settle in a wee bit, and then we started looking for fights, and the Conor Hignett fight came up. Good opponent. He's been on some big shows, so we went with that. Also, stylistically, a lot of the stuff that we've added to Luke's game would have got tested in that fight. He had a skill set for his last coach, Danny Batten, but the opponent would test what we've been working on in the gym. So he performed real well on the night. It showed some of the stuff we've been working on and stuff, which was cool. It was nice to get the win. There was a bit of pressure on it where maybe if he didn't win, it wouldn't justify the move and stuff like that. But thankfully, he fought really well. He performed well against a good opponent. Conor Hignett was very good that night as well. And it's kind of setting a marker now for what he can achieve. We've got some stuff coming up for Luke. I think he's just about to get signed to a big promotion. We should have news the next couple of days about that. We're just sorting out the kind of nuts and bolts of that just now, but it's looking like he's going to have a pretty bright future now. He's 23. He's been on ACB, Bama, Cage Warriors. He fought in that almighty fighting championships at the weekends, which was a cool show. And he's getting better all the time. He's in a good place.
Is there also, when you've got guys like Luke coming in and joining the gym, is there a positive ripple effect in the gym with having a guy like that? And for the guys that have been there for a while, it's somebody new coming into the gym. It's a new body, a talented body as well.
Yeah, it brings. It's another skill set where we kind of pride ourselves on our guys all being different at the gym. That we don't like some gyms you can name the gym and you'll know exactly what type of fighter you're getting.
Yeah.
But we always try and pride ourselves on all our guys being individually sound and fighting in a way that suits them, whether it's their personality or their physical abilities. So he brings another skill set, which is going to help with guys like Peter McCaffrey, who's just about to turn pro at the same weight. Logan McGonigal, who's a flyweight pro amateur, who'll turn pro soon. Even guys like Keir Harvey and stuff like that, who's a weight class up at pro. So it's adding another good leveled guy to that wee group. Guys run about the same weight. I think Luke also had a lot of amateur fights, like against good guys. He fought Adam Asbinger and stuff like that, amateur. So he's got a fair bit of experience. On top of that, I think it was just a bit of it's like a bit of confidence booster for the rest of the guys, knowing that people are want to travel to our place and kind of join the team and whatever else.
It must be good for you as well, just as a coach. Obviously, you've put a lot into the new gym, and then to have guys coming out like that. So it's definitely working. You're also, not only are the guys you've got under you improving, but you're attracting good fighters who want to come and train in Scotland as well.
I think that seems to be a natural process or a natural way that gyms evolve. Once you get to a certain standard or level, they're going to attract guys to join. I remember seeing Calborn had that, where they got a lot of guys changing back in the day. Wolfslayer had that. SBG Dublin's obviously got it very big now. There's people coming from all over Europe. So I think as we kind of grew and stuff like that, we always anticipated that was going to happen. Even back for when like Danny Henry came over and stuff. The hard part there is keeping a level of control over it, where you don't end up just with a bunch of kind of mercenaries there who are coming to the fight camps at the expense of the guys that you're bringing from scratch, like the core of the team. But we've got a decent balance there. I think we're about to cap the number of fighters in the gym. We're getting to a stage now where we're going to be like, right, we can't really work with any more guys. We've got a kind of youth development plan in place. We've got a bunch of these 16-year-olds with Sean Clancy and stuff like that coming through. We've got the two Brock twins there. We've got another 4 boys that are like 16, 17 who we should be pushing out soon. So It's a good thing like having these guys come across if they're going to add to the team. But if they're just going to come across and take but not give anything back, then that could be a problem.
So it's making sure guys are a right fit for the gym, and it's going to be a mutual beneficial thing. Yeah,
pretty much. If they're going to work hard and they're going to be there for the rest of the team, then they'll fit in. Like it's pretty simple. If you've got work ethic there and you're no selfish fucker who's just in when they've got a fight or whatever, and they've got the right mentality to learning, they'll fit in at our place fine. We've actually got some guys due over to visit. We've got Robert Nystrom for Sweden due to come over with a couple of these guys. He fought Stevie and he fought Callum. So he's due to bring over some of his fighters for a week or something. And then we've got a 10-1 crazy Serbian guy, Alex, who came over before. He's due back over. I think he's fighting in Germany soon, and he's coming over to do like 2 months camp. He's a brown belt. He's in the Rio Grappling Club. He teaches in Serbia, so he's like a good training partner for Danny and Stevie and the lightweight boys at ours.
So the dorms are going to be getting used pretty frequently then?
The dorms are getting used. We just put in a sauna there as well, and we've got a hot tub going in. Apparently, recovery.
Stevie McIntosh will no want to train. He'll be in the sauna then that hot tub all the time.
Some of the sights in that sauna is unbelievable. We put the sauna in for recovery stuff. We've actually noticed a difference with Stevie in the sauna there because he's been getting in the sauna 3 times a week now. So he's more comfortable in it instead of just waiting until the night before a weigh-in and chucking him in a sauna. The guys are getting in after every maybe 3-4 times a week and almost getting acclimatised to it. So he's in the sauna singing and fucking shadow boxing just now because he's so used to it. So it's been a good thing.
Well, you see, I think Joe Rogan is a big advocate for the sauna at the moment. Seems to be doing the one. Well, obviously Joe Rogan's got a wee bit of help. It's not just the sauna to keep him feeling young.
I know.
And just before we let you go, then James, anything else coming up for the gym that you can share with us at the moment? Any fights to come?
I'm just about to sort Luke and Stevie Mop, I think. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that, but they're both about to sign for something big. I think Luke's signing exclusively with this company, but Stevie's been offered a fight on FFC in Bolton, I think September, for their lightweight title, so they're looking for somebody for him. So it looks like Stevie's got August and September lined up, which is good because we're needing to get him busy. He's priority for me just now. And then we're taking a bunch of guys. Seems to be less shows in Scotland, so I think we're going to be looking at taking groups of guys down to Liverpool. There's a Mazda show on there, and then I think Ice FC's got a show in August. So we're going to be looking to be a wee bit more active down south. Graham Turner should be back. I think I've been speaking to somebody at Cage Warriors about him. He should be back maybe September time or afterwards.
So a few things coming up. Is it a good conscious decision as well to get Stevie fighting out of Scotland, get him travelling a wee bit to fight?
I think he was getting bored fighting at home, and as a coach, you want them to experience that travelling and not fighting at home. Some guys don't fight too well at home, but Stevie's been needing a bigger platform for a while, and the deal I'm working on just now is going to give him a bigger platform. The timing it's kind of fallen into place. We had a couple of offers there. He was offered fights on Bellator and stuff like that. I think I've spoke about it before.
Yeah, Newcastle.
He had a couple of injuries there that kept him out of that. But he's back full training now, and we can use the August and the September fights to kind of gauge where he's at.
And quickly as well, just on Callum Urey. Callum, is he ready to go again or getting there? Is he close to getting a fight?
He's back training. There was a lot of complications with his arm. I think it's still even a wee bit painful for him just now. So it's going to take a wee bit more rehabilitation. He's pretty much doing everything, but he's compartmentalising it. He's not full sparring. He needs to watch what he's doing with certain positions. He's back rolling, he's back hitting pads and whatever else. So I think EFC will be keen to have him back out later in this year. They've got shows once a month right through to December now. So
Right.
it'll just be a case of me touching base with them and saying, right, Callum's good to go. They've looked after Callum really well. They were pretty much paying him the equivalent of a monthly wage when he was off with a broken arm and stuff off work. So I think he's keen to get back over there, but he'll need a wee bit of time in the gym. He's still, because of what happened with his arm, we never really got time in the gym to fix anything for his last fight, which he performed poor. Like, he performed bad in the last fight, even regardless of the arm break. So ideally, if he hadn't broke his arm, he'd have been back in the gym to try and fix technical problems. But he's now back almost a year later. So it'll take him a wee bit of time to get fit, get sharp, get confidence with that arm, and then try and make some strides towards fixing the problems for that last fight.
Perfect, and it's good to see as well. You've mentioned Peter McCafferty turning pro. Feels like he's been an amateur. Well, he's been an amateur for a long time, a lot of experience. Is that what you spoke about? You and Peter sat down and spoke about him turning pro?
There's a couple of them we'd kind of labelled for turning pro this year. Peter had a thing about that on top belt. That was like he wanted to kind of get that before he turned pro, but there was a couple of things with his skill set needed adjusted to suit the pro ranks, and I think we've kind of sorted that now, so he's good to go. I think we'll be looking at Mark Ewan turning pro, and definitely this year he's away to Thailand soon. We're maybe talking about that, but he's got a couple of offers there as well, so it'll be a case of maybe one or two more amateur fights if they suit, but he's good to turn pro. I think just now we've made some improvements with his wrestling and stuff like that and defensive wrestling that's going to allow him to kind of play the type of game that he wants to play. But there's a couple guys there, and obviously Logan will not be far behind him. And again, those 16, 17-year-old kids will be coming through the ranks soon as well, so it'll be conveyor belt.
Perfect. So busy the end of the year for higher level then?
Yeah, I think so. Especially once we get this hot tub in. Get barbecue at the back maybe as well.
Just don't be putting a bar or anything like that, and that could be a problem.
That could be a problem.
Well, listen, thanks very much for giving us your time, James, as always. I appreciate it, mate, and obviously hope everything goes well tomorrow for Stevie and the team.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for that, mate.
Cheers, mate. Bye.